All right. So this is 4 16-pound bags of ice on a 100-gallon cattle trough. We're gonna see 3 might have been enough. 3's fairly cold. I think 3 was enough to maybe get some of the benefits, but I like it a little colder. So yeah, we're gonna. All right. I gotta hit my timer. I gotta hit start. All right, there we go. I mean, yeah, it's pretty cold. Like to get all the way in, past the shoulders. Now Wolfie wants to come out and play. So one thing I've noticed with this is if I wait and I only get down to my waist, then I wait a while before I dunk in all the way, it's way more difficult. This isn't bad. Now I haven't done this in a couple of weeks. Adjusting to a new schedule, got a lot warmer out. For a while when it was cold out, I could just fill this with my well water the night before. It'd be in the 40s when I got out here in the morning, and that was nice. So the issue now, by the way, let's just talk about the popularity of cold water therapy and the trendiness. And I'm someone that's kind of anti-trend. When something gets trendy, I'm like, I don't know, right? I think there's a difference between trendiness and something that's trendy and something that's popular. And I think this cold water therapy stuff is popular because it's just awesome, because it works. And there's so many reasons, and I'll get into those in a little bit. But I encourage everyone that's just thought about it very briefly or even just immediately dismissed it to reconsider, because there's a bunch of ways you can get into it that don't require you really to invest any money at all, or to just jump immediately into a big vat of ice water. One of the easiest ways you can start is just during your shower. Take a warm shower, and then stand kind of out of the stream of the water, and then turn the water to cold, and just keep your face in it for just 30 seconds. Just start out with that. Just splash the water on your face, kind of run your head over it, get it on the back of your head, and pop out really quick. Just 30 seconds. Just do that. And then another time, maybe see if you can do it for 45 seconds the next shower the next day. And then after that, see if you can keep your head under for about a minute. It doesn't have to stay under the shower water, the cold shower water, for like a full minute straight, but just mostly, just keep popping it back in. You don't want to get a migraine. You don't want to get a headache. But that's one way to start, and you're going to get a lot of benefits just from doing that. But I tell you, man, or woman, or whatever, if you can work up to this, and it's not hard, it's really not hard, just the benefits are so amazing. There's so many scientific terms I could throw out there, but you literally just feel so much better, and you're healthier. You're just healthier. Now, there's a safe way to do it and a not safe way to do it, but there's so much information out there. It's not hard. It's not hard to figure out how to do this. So why am I doing this why am I doing this video as a live instead of just recording it and then posting it later? First off, just for self-development, I've gotten really, really good at teaching certain things in my communication skills with delivering my skill set. For example, teaching people how to shoot, how to stand, how to, grip a pistol, and that sort of thing has gotten so much better lately because I've been really focusing on it and hammering on it. And they had different opportunities to work on it and shorter time frames, which has made me more efficient. And so if you practice something, I'd like to think you get better at it. And I am really awkward on camera, especially live, because I can be self-conscious. And so if I'm doing this live, it's that added pressure. It's that added pressure I need to be more concise with my thoughts. So that's why I'm doing this as a live. And then why am I putting this information out there? Hey man, the more positive reinforcement to be healthy. Humans are so unhealthy right now, and I am so empathetic to that. And a lot of people were given bad information by people that they trusted, including me. You're not the only one. Obesity levels are incredibly high. There's so many health problems, and some of that isn't even our fault. I mean, everything's ultimately a decision, but when we have so many people and so many things, and there's so much information, and how do you understand what's going on? You know, all this plastic, all these chemicals in the water, you know, in our food now. And you know, it's funny is I went to a film school that had mostly international students, and when a lot of the students from Europe or just East Asia or just different countries, specifically Europe though, I can use that as the best example because I'm a little more knowledgeable about their laws regarding food. When they got here, they would just gain weight and body fat instantly, and they're like, I don't understand, I'm eating the same food. But really they weren't. A lot of the American companies that make food in the United States, they're allowed to put all these weird chemicals in your food, and in Europe you're not allowed to do it. And while I'm very libertarian, you know, I'm not really for a ton of government regulation. It is fascinating, you know, how even just a cheeseburger from a fast food company is healthier in some European countries than it is in the United States. And that's fascinating to me. I think when it comes to health, the first step is just really healthy food, good, healthy food. Then exercise, I think, is really important as well. I really do. It doesn't mean you have to be, you know, a gym rat or a ultra marathon runner. And if you're into that sort of thing, awesome. You know what I mean? But just some type of exercise. I think we evolved to have positive adversity in exercise. You know, for most of humans' existence, we had to fight tooth and nail just against Mother Nature to survive, you know? And things are a lot easier now. You know, there's different types of stress, but we have penicillin and Rescue 911 and automobiles, you know, cell phones. It's a lot easier to stay alive now than it has ever been. So I think we really need to focus on getting exercise if it's not part of our daily routine or our daily job. My father, he's a master electrician, and he's 60 something, 65, and he's still crawling around in attics, you know, squeezing through crawl spaces and wiring stuff. And you know, although it's probably not as easy as it used to be, I think that's keeping him young. I think you know, doing all that hard work is really good for him. And you know, someone that might maybe have to sit at a desk all day under fluorescent lights, well, you're not getting your exercise at your job. So you know, I think it's really important to find another way to do it. So with this ice bath thing, for me, I have what they call severe ADHD. And I use the acronym because that's just what everybody knows, but it's not actually a deficit of attention. It's a dopamine regulation issue with your brain. My brain is a little bit different than a lot of people. And you know, a lot of people joke and they say they have ADHD when they really don't. It is absolutely a curse until you can turn it into a superpower. And it's just a different way of doing things. And just an example, like I went to ranger school and absolutely loved it. I'm not saying it was easy, not at all. I'm not saying I didn't have problems there, or you know, it wasn't difficult, but it was absolutely amazing, and it was constantly stimulating. And I would much rather do that than do my dishes or fold my laundry. You know, I'd rather get in an ice bath instead of you know, put away something when I'm done with it. And it's not like a discipline issue, although discipline is one of the solutions to it. We are biomechanical machines. Yeah, we're alive 100%, but like, you know, we take in fuel, we burn that fuel, we have motors, you know, we have hydraulics and pumps and electrical synapses, you know, we have all these things going on. We're biomechanical machines, and if there's something disrupting this machine, we need to fix it. And so my body, my brain does not regulate dopamine in the right way. So I found that really intense things help with dopamine. And working out in 180 degree to 200 degree sauna has helped me a ton. Just with like making me feel better and focus. And I didn't even know all the other benefits that come with that. And this cold water therapy stuff, when I was a kid growing up in Wisconsin, I used to run outside all the time in the snow, barefoot, just shorts on, you know, jump down and do a couple snow angels. And my mom and my grandma would always be like, "You're going to catch a cold." And I'd be like, "You can't catch a cold from the cold," but it can, you know, lower your immune system if you're out there too long. But if you experience extreme cold for brief periods, it actually helps your immune system. But for me as a kid, I just did it because it just felt really good. It felt really good to get into that extreme cold, even though it kind of hurt a little bit. Kind of hurt. It was difficult. But I liked it, you know? And so with this, not only am I producing, you know, or maybe it's helping me regulate my dopamine. I don't know. My day is always better if I can do this. It's always better. It's never not better if I can take an ice bath in the morning, or at least take a freezing cold shower, as cold as I can get it. And so, some other benefits of this, all right? First off, it's just the adversity. Just doing something difficult right away in the morning. Just doing something difficult just helps. You can call that woo or whatever, but I think willpower is a muscle. There's a book on willpower, which I'll mention it in another live, but it's worth reading. But it's interesting with willpower. If you exercise that muscle, it gets stronger. But like any muscle, by the end of the day, if you're using it all day, it's pretty weak. And that's why a lot of people, will eat junk food in the evening, or make poor decisions, or spend money maybe they shouldn't, And that's why a lot of people that can afford it, that are in high intense careers, have assistants. And if they use their assistant efficiently, means they're not overusing their muscles. You have somebody else to make all these little decisions for you that you trust, that don't really matter to you, that you can trust somebody else to make, and that allows more energy and focus to make the bigger decisions. There was like a 6-month period and another 4-month period where I had an assistant, and man, it was awesome. I was able to get so much more done, and I was able to produce more resources, be more efficient at my job, and it was great. So I think hopefully in 6 months to another year, I'll be able to do that again, and that'll be wonderful. But back to the willpower thing. Right now I'm exercising that willpower. I just got in. I'm kind of proud of myself, actually, that I just jumped in. I think 4 16-pound bags was good. It's good for the temperature. My little thermometer broke, so I gotta get a new one, because I can't tell you how cold it is, but it's at least below 50 degrees, so that feels pretty good. So there's that. There's a chemical called norepinephrine that when you experience extreme cold, and if you can get your head cold, which I'll dunk before I get out. I'm going to start trying to dunk right when I get in. But I didn't this time, because I wanted to give a shout out to Tower Arms, and didn't shave my head this morning, so I'm just going to keep the hat on for right now. But norepinephrine, if you're ever in a shitty mood, I'm trying not to swear, but if you're ever in a really bad mood, man, jump in a cold shower. Just jump in a cold shower. Just 30 seconds. Just 30 seconds with your head under that cold water. Your brain's going to produce more norepinephrine. And it's literally a hack. We're biomechanical machines, and we have these computers. And so if the computer's not doing something we want, there's ways to go in there and reprogram it, at least temporarily. And one of them is a cold shower. That norepinephrine will instantly make you feel better. It'll change your mood. And I know sometimes when you're in a bad mood, you just want to stay in a bad mood, or worse, you want to share it. It's not the way out. It's not the way out. It's not the healthy way out. So one option, cold shower. All right, that norepinephrine does a few other things. From what I understand, it can even affect your gut biome. It affects your immune system. It does a lot of things, all right? I don't often get sick, and the times that I was never getting sick was the times that I was consistently doing sauna and ice baths. There's something else that happens. It's called brown fat. You produce this thing called brown fat. And people with brown fat seem to metabolize energy faster and more efficiently, and seem to have less health problems. So there's another benefit from it. Your skin has more elasticity. Your hair follicles tend to be a little thicker and healthier. It's just, man, there's just so many benefits. And again, with modern life, a lot of us are doing things that we didn't exactly evolve to do. When you see like a dog that's overweight, maybe getting the wrong kind of food and not getting enough exercise, well, that dog used to be a wolf. And man, wolves have to work hard to be alive. The analogy I use is when a dog chews on a squeaky toy. The reason it gets excited is because that squeaky toy, that sound, that squeak, is triggering ancient reward sensors in that dog's brain. And it's reminding it of the sound of a dying animal. If wolves did not enjoy the hunt and did not enjoy the kill, they wouldn't eat. I feel like people are like that. And when we work out and exert physical energy in a positive way, we're triggering ancient reward sensors. I'm grateful for penicillin and Rescue 911 and cell phones and tourniquets and all these things that make dying a little more difficult than it did even 100 years ago. Especially 500 years ago, 1,000 years ago. I'm grateful for all that. But because all of that stuff is easier, I think we need to deliberately choose to do things that are difficult. I think that's a really good idea. And I know, at least personally with me, and I'm an odd duck, but when I deliberately move towards adversity, and I think there's a difference between positive and negative adversity, but when I deliberately move continually towards positive adversity, my life always gets better. It always gets better. And folks, I've made a lot of mistakes in my life, and I've tried to learn. Sometimes I've had to make that mistake 3 or 4 times before I've learned from it. But that's something that I can feel confident sharing. Adversity, positive adversity, is just something that we need to experience. So it looks like I've been in here for about, could be 15 minutes here shortly. So just under 15 right now, because I don't know how long it took me to pour the ice in and then hit my timer and jump in. But yeah, I was hoping to do 10. I did 15. Now the reason I'm moving around like this is because if you sit still in an ice bath, there's still some ice floating around, but most of it's melted. If you sit still in an ice bath that the water isn't moving, the heat from your body will create like a little force field of warmth, and I don't want that. I want I want to feel the cold water. I want as much as possible. So I'm gonna awkwardly dunk my head here and then get out. But doing the live is also it's not even humbling anymore. It used to be, but got a lot of people that check in. Thank you for that. Once in a while I'll have like 2 or 3 people stick around for it, and that's fine. I'm not an influencer. I'm not a big social media person, but hey, if I could just, I'm doing this anyways. I'm stuck here, right? And so if I could just positively influence just a couple people to maybe give this a shot. And again, you don't have to jump into an ice bath, You could just, while you're taking your shower, switch the water to cold and just stick your face, just start out with that, your face for 30 seconds. Then maybe dip your head a little bit. And then the next time, do it for 45 seconds. That's it. You're going to notice a difference. I promise. I 100% absolutely promise. And I take promises very seriously. So, thanks for everybody that checked in. We're going to keep this up. I've been getting up at 5 a.m. lately. It's much later in the day, so I'm probably going to do it. Well, I'm definitely going to have to do it like way earlier in the morning. I don't think financially right now it's sustainable for me to do 4 16-pound bags of ice every day. I do have a chest freezer that I'm going to convert, but I have to buy another chest freezer yet. And these ice baths, man, they're really expensive right now. When I first moved out here, going on 17 minutes. I'm going to finish this up. When I first moved to Tennessee and bought my property, I was like, I'm definitely buying an ice bath. I thought they might be like $2,500. They're like first they were like $7,000 to $14,000. And right now, with my income change and with the Screen Actors Guild still demanding the coof shots, those silly son of SOBs, can't afford that, and that's fine. So, a $500 chest freezer that I'll seal and convert, with everything I'm pouring into the property and everything like that, I'll eventually be able to afford that. There are some lesser expensive ice baths around like $4,000 or $5,000, and that's cool, and I think that's amazing. And here's the thing: things that are expensive, that are good, they become more efficient in making them. They become lesser expensive over time, so that's great. So right now with the ice baths, I'm probably going to do 3 a week. Right now, I think I might be able to afford that with until I buy the chest freezer, and then it'll be pretty much every morning. So, used to do it. No, now I'm getting redundant. I don't think people are going to watch once I post this video the whole way through. Used to do the sauna in the morning right before workout, and the ice bath in the evening right before bed. But after reading more about it, I think the ice bath right away in the morning is going to be great. And once I get my sauna built, I'm going to do this, then work out in the sauna, then finish my workout, and then go about my day. Maybe a cold shower right before bed. Start that recovery mode. But yeah. All right, now's the part I don't like. I don't like this part. That wasn't bad at all. Oh, it's way easier than leaning forward. Woo! All right, well, thank you, everyone, and hope you all have a wonderful day. I'm gonna go work out now. I always forget how to turn this off.